Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lucky Star Tarot. So, today I bring you a pick a card reading for the general overview of your next month, which in this case would be May 2024. So, here we have three piles, of which you will pick one and then head to the timestamps in the description to jump straight to your reading. So, now I will give you some time so you can pick a pile or pick a group, really. This will be group number one, group number two, group number three. Hello, group number one, and welcome. The oracle card you have picked is Catch Your Breath, which is really self-explanatory, I'd say. In the card, we can see a little fairy holding onto a tree and gazing at something with much relaxation. Really, you can see they're super abundant. There's multiple butterflies. There's also moths. There's the tree, of course. Their hair is verdant. Their clothes are as well. There's some of these little things that squirrels eat in cartoons, the name of which I don't know. And maybe you can better appreciate the card. I'm sorry, I'm still learning. And it's not as simple as one would think, this whole camera thing. There you can see. The kid looks quite relaxed and it's holding onto the tree like it's not planning on letting go. And trees, of course, are a slow and steady energy. They grow over years and years and years. So basically, you just need to chill out. Take some time to yourself to regroup, to recuperate, to just take a breather in the measure of what's doable for you, of course. You're not gonna just up and quit your job, but if you can, then you should take a breather. Maybe no need to work that hard or try so much in this time. You might really need a break. This could also mean that you're stressing out about something that you really needn't to be stressing out about, that it will work out. Anyway, now the guidebook for this oracle, which is Nature's Whispers, says take a break and enjoy a quiet period. This time can be used to regroup, recover, and stabilize yourself. It is wise to keep in mind the fact that this is for a limited period of time. You are pausing to regain your footing. As you evaluate your environment, check to see if you need to clear any ill will with anyone. Ask for forgiveness, and be willing to forgive as necessary to move forward. Enjoy this downtime. Acknowledge the importance of recharging your energy so you're refreshed and ready to tackle life and any challenges that come your way. Well, something I didn't mention that was on that description is that how this is temporary. I guess this kid does need to grow up and move away from the tree at some point. Okay, I'll put this to the side. And now we'll grab some cards for the general overview of your month. Like, what's the month going to be like generally? If you just give me a second. Okay, we'll go with. Oh, that's nice. It seems to be quite a nice month. And once again, the chariot. I mean, not once again, it's not like it's popped up before, but the chariot can. There's two lions or sphinxes that run the chariot, which means they both need to be on the same direction for the chariot to run forward, right? So actually, these three cards all have two people on them, which might mean that you need to reach an understanding between two people or cooperate in a way, which doesn't seem like it will be very hard, to be honest. These are both very harmonious cards. This one tends to refer to infancy or to like the purity of our relationship or whatever. Like you see all of these cups that mean the feelings, right? Because they contain water, are blooming with these beautiful white flowers. There's two children giving a cup to one another. So it might be that you need to make peace between two people or two sides of yourself. But overall, your month will be quite nice, I want to say. You're just getting ready to get moving. And it seems like you will make the most of it, right? Flowers are blooming. Flowers are blooming. You're getting ready to set off on the chariot. You're doing quite well. Um, I do not know if there is anything that could look troubling, or you may have trouble just laying still. You might be the kind of person that's always doing something or that feels pressured or anxious when they are not being productive, quote unquote. But remember, the time a seed spends underground is still productive. It's getting ready to sprout and give to the world whatever it is that it gives, be it beauty, nourishment, or even shade, oxygen. You know, in a way, just being alive and taking care of yourself is productive because the world is better off with you in it. And the better the condition you are in, the more you can do for the world and those around you. But I do want to know whether this is about another person or simply about you making a choice or getting, you know, making peace between two sides. Oh, I would say it's more about you coming to harmony with you. And here again, she's enjoying the fruit of her labor, right? She's in her garden with her parrot. Yellow is sometimes associated with air, which is the element of the mind. So I don't know if you work with ideas or creative endeavors or something of the sort. But right now, it's like you're enjoying the fruits of your labor. You see, you're very abundant, but you're just chilling there. Your fruits are there, they're hanging on the vines. So, like, yeah, it's probably more about you and yourself. Like, making maybe a choice or deciding to go a certain path after this period of rest. So, your overall energy is pretty rest, harmony, preparation, maybe. Maybe it's more preparation rather than rest per se for some of you. Okay, now that's the general overview. So I want to do career and then a little love below. But honestly, with this card, it just I already know that you're going to be fine financially. Like you might even be like on vacation of sorts. Like maybe you're just chilling. It's crazy how I don't really have a lot to say here because it's so nice. Okay, so in terms of career, what can group number one expect of the coming month of May 2024? Oh, and also, before I forget, animals tend to represent their instincts, the person's instincts. So, like, if there's a dog, it might be said that it is your instincts telling you something. So, in this card, it's also like you're speaking to yourself, to your instincts, to your inner mind, maybe, and that's a parrot. So, it can talk back, which is like, yeah, it just reaffirms even more that it's about yourself. Anyway, financially, career wise, for group number one. Oh, okay. This card is a little funny because to me, it's always been a little bit about being maybe dramatic. Because who needs those many swords to kill somebody, right? That's just, it's overdoing it. Then, once again, a card of I'm getting ready to go. And this one. Oh, more of this. Okay, so first of all, the staffs are like You ever hear this masculine feminine energy? But in the end, more than masculine or feminine, it's receiving and creating in silence versus doing things like an arrow, like going after your like desires or goals. So it's like a cup and the staff. So in this case, the staffs are projective energy, right? Like you got staffs here, you got staffs here, you got the target here. But these guys are not using their staffs yet. This guy's looking at the staff. He's getting ready to set off on a journey. This guy is holding his staffs and just chilling there. He might be a little stuck, to be honest. He looks like he's just waiting. So maybe you're getting ready to put some big project forward or do like a big like career move. And you might be stressing out like immensely about it. You might just be so stressed, so anxious, so afraid that your plans will not work. But honestly, relax. Literally relax. Because like you got a very solid foundation here. Look at all your steps. They're all ready to go. Your will is set and ready to start whenever it needs to start. So maybe it's not so much about resting, but about realizing that everything is okay, that you're ready to go, that you needn't be afraid. Because swords are usually associated with air, right? And air is very mental. So, do you really have 10 swords on your back? Or are they just on your mind? Is the world swording you? Or are you swording yourself? You know? Like, is it really that bad? And I mean, I don't want to diminish. You might have had horrible experiences before. You might be terrified, but you have everything. You have everything you need. You are so ready. You have planned so much. You might have over planned or over like maybe gather too many resources. Like at this point it's just like you got so much, like you could just go right now and be set. So yeah, I'd say everything is fine and you need to stop suffering. You really do, because you got this literal like great energy all balled up ready to start moving slow and steady forward for you, and you're not setting an emotion or you're too afraid to do it. But there's literally no reason, because how does this look like this project or whatever? What kind of outcome will it be? Let's see. The outcome for this project or um thing that group number one is on. Oh, you see? Oh, it's going to give. It's going to be just fine. You're going to get your due rewards. No crumbling of the world, no tower, nothing. You got the Ace of Pentacles. You will be fine. It will be a stable result. It will yield well. There's no need to stress so much. There's no need to stress so much. And I know it's kind of dumb, like, oh, don't stress. Like, you could just turn it off magically, like, oh, I am suddenly unstressed. But maybe take steps, whatever those might be for you, in order to reduce the stress a little, to catch your breath from being so damn stressed. This is a lot of stress. And there doesn't seem to be like an external cause to it. It seems to be all you and your past experiences. So if it helps at all, you needn't worry. As much as some online tarot reading is worth, you can breathe. You don't have to have your heart running at 9 billion miles per hour every second, because it will be fine. And it seems like this is taking a lot of your mind space because it kind of connects with the overview, like the general energy. Like it's a major thing for you, whatever this is. Be it a project or a move, or I don't know, maybe you wrote a book, but you're too afraid to set things in motion. Maybe you got all of this ready to start, I don't know, your illustration business, but you're too afraid to make the move or to like quit your job and be a full-time illustrator or whatever it is. You know, those are the kind of scary financial decisions I can imagine at least. I think it will be fine. It's not like diamonds are going to rain on you, but you will have more than enough. You will be able to sit down and be okay with your money. Okay, so now as for the love life during this month, for group number 1, okay, we get the cards. Ah, two came together. So 4 cards, I guess. Okay, the moon. That's not very telling. Okay. Strength. Okay, you got a whole queen. Hmm. Maybe you feel like you're not with the moon. You feel like you don't know where you stand. Like something is hidden from you. You might feel like you need to defend your position. But if you look at this guy on top of the hill, he's already king of the hill. Okay, he's out there acting like these guys can harm him when they can't even reach him with their bats because he's too high up. He oughta relax. Same thing. You're stressing too much. You have already dominated the beast. And now this doesn't necessarily mean like a relationship as in romantic. There's many other relationships in which you feel like you need to take a stand or like it's just love. You love other people. You don't only love your partner. Like everybody's always like, oh, romantic love, and I get it. It's fun. But it could be something else. Because I'm not getting a lot of romance vibes from this, if I have to be honest, other than these lovers over here. But if it were romance, you're stressing over time here, right? Whatever you cannot see here with the moon, it's not a danger. It's not a threat. You don't need to defend your position. You don't need to fight for it. You don't need none of that. Here with the strength, you have already, if you may, tamed the lion. Whatever it is that's going on, you needn't concern yourself because you are on top of the situation. You needn't make a huge effort, you see? She dominated the beast not through, I don't know, doing martial arts and grappling with it like Greco Roman fighting, but rather with technique. She shut its jaws and, it has its tail between its legs. She's got it. She's got it because she has everything it takes to tame the lion, no problem. Once again, a queen. You don't see queens running about, rushing, feeling like they might not be worth something or somebody. Queens sit on their power, quite literally. And once again, here you got more staffs. This queen also has a staff ready to go, ready to command with it. She will point at something and it will be done because she is a queen. And once again, you have cat. Here you got dogs. There's a lot of instinct of inner, the cat, the lion, the dog, whatever this is. I think it's a fox. There's even uh, it's not a crab. but it's fine dining. Well, whatever, some sea animal, and that's even more like intuition and feelings because the deep sea, what we cannot see, all of the layers of God. So in the end, you are in every area of your life stressing more than you need to. You might have anxiety or something because you got it all figured out. You are more than prepared, you are more than worthy, probably more than worthy. This is a queen. This is not just anybody. And you're not just worthy because you're worth it, you're worthy because you have what it takes, quite literally. You got the lion under control. You have nothing to fight for or defend here. And whatever is stressing you out because you cannot see it, the fact that you cannot see it doesn't mean it's a threat, you know? So, yeah, you're basically stressing over time, but you are more than capable and ready for whatever it is that you're looking for. So maybe you're here because you're binge watching readings because you're stressing out. And like, no, catch your breath. You needn't stress out. You're on the right track, you got everything ready, it's up to you to set it in motion. Believe it or not, you are the one in control with the strength here. Mm. Okay, I think that's all I have for you. I hope it helped or that it was fun at least. And thank you so much for stopping by and watching a whole 20 minutes of this. So I hope you're well and I hope you relax a little. And hopefully, I'll see you soon. Bye. Hello, group number two, and welcome to your reading. The oracle card you have chosen is Assurance. Oh, it's a beautiful card. Let me see if I can. I'm sorry, I'm still getting used to all of this. Ooh. There we go. The card depicts a tree, a tree with four women on it. I am assuming it represents a station of the year, a season with the most noticeable ones being winter and spring here. So this looks to be about cycles, I believe. And cycles often need patience. But let's read the guidebook. Let's see what the Oracle guidebook says about assurance. Oh, this is funny because pile number one had the card 15 and you have 14. Okay, so the guidebook says remain steady and be assured you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. You might be seeing small signs that things, situations, and desires are beginning to fall into place. Your focus and skills are intact. You will feel motivated in work areas and therefore make good inroads in your usual work. New ways of dealing with things will occur to you. Fresh perspectives will appear. And, as a result, your life will move towards harmony and balance. Trust yourself. You have everything you need. And it's a similar message to the other group, but not quite the same thing. So they were telling them to catch their breath, but they're telling you that you have what you need, that you are prepared, that everything's going to look up soon enough. So maybe you're coming from a winter that wasn't that great, but now, just like seeds stay underground during the entirety of winter, gathering energy and preparing to sprout, whatever you have done might just start to sprout now. Or it might just be a change of season, life just gets a little better, because we all live through cycles, and sometimes the best we can do is to survive them. Okay, so now I want to draw 3 cards so we can see the overview of your month, meaning like the general energy, the vibes, as the youth say, of your month of May 2024 for my group number 2. So we'll just draw 3 cards. So first, the Emperor. Okay. We're starting super strong. The Emperor, okay. The King of Pentacles. And the Chariot. Alright. Jesus Christ. Um well, you seem to be a very steady person. Okay, so the Emperor is sometimes referred to as like the structure card. Like you see, he's sitting on a very, very, very square throne. He has 4 ram heads, and 4 is the number of earth and stability. The throne is pretty square too, so you could say there's more squares there. He is holding both a staff and a focus, I think it's called in English. So there's some balance. You see, he's sitting there, but he is paying attention and he's ready to go. He is wearing his armor. He could join a battle at any time. Okay, so he's not just rotting on his throne. Even though he's super steady, he might be slow to act, perhaps a little too on the strict side, on the traditional side, because, square. But if you see, his sky is orange, his clothes are red, like fire. It's not that he is not capable of acting, like he's not ready, like he's lazy. He just doesn't see the need yet. He might be slow to react, but that doesn't mean that he can't react properly. Which would make sense, this slowness, this steadiness, with the whole winter to spring, or however it is seasons work. I think it's winter to autumn, and then to spring, and then to summer. No, autumn. I'm incredible, but you get what I mean. You know, the emperor will not rise up. He's the emperor. He will not rise up at the slightest challenge. He will take his time. Now we have the King of Pentacles, whom is also, I don't know if you can tell, but he's also wearing armor. And he is stepping on a conquered enemy. This gold that he's holding, he did not come by chance. He is not this fertile, like he's covered in grapes. It doesn't get more fertile than being covered in pre-wine, if you may. His crown got all these flowers. His throne is also kind of squarish, but way less. Instead of rams, he's got 2 bulls, or 4 bulls actually. So all of this abundance is not just for show. He didn't just inherit this. He fought for it. He made it happen. And you might even see that the abundance he has is different, because in some other pictures there's this other cards, you have like these trim bushes in these great estates. You can see his castle, but it's a bit of more of a wild plant life in this one. He's letting it grow as it pleases. He already has what he needs and what he wants. And then there's the chariot, which is literally you need to get these 2 in line for it to start. So you might be sitting on something great that you have decided not to start yet. You might be taking too long, or you might just be waiting for your chance, because you can go ahead whenever you want to. You are wearing your armor. You can go and conquer. You're just choosing not to for some reason. Now, I would like to clarify a little, because, well, it is a general reading, of course, but this also are um like major arcana, and so they're super broad in their energies or whatever. Like I can't even tell really if it's financial or what. And so let's see. What is this all about? Being celebrated. So you might have accomplished something great. And now you're just like resting on your laurels, but not in a bad way. Like you deserve it. Like you deserve what you're getting. Hmm. So you are definitely a king. Of course, that doesn't mean that you're a man or whatever. But you're sitting on this king energy, a little more authoritative, a little more strict, a little more detached, but with all the power in the world. You're not just sitting there because you have no other choice. You're sitting there because you got there, step by step. And you could do it again. Okay, so in terms of finances, I will hazard a guess that your finances are great, or at least stable. But okay, let's see. Group number two is finances, please. Get the Wheel of Fortune. All right. The Hanged Man. Okay, maybe I was wrong. I'm not much of a psychic, it seems. And the Ace of. Okay, so yeah, the stability is there. There seems to be a crazy change going on. Oh, and the Hanged Man is actually inverted. So, like, I was wrong then. Because you will be fine, probably. But things are changing, and they're changing like crazy. And you, of course, are not feeling the greatest about this. You feel like your world has been put upside down. And it's interesting that the hangman is inverted because I do not usually like inverted card. Like I don't usually do it. I every now and then I go through my deck and I make all the cards be on the right positions. So it's very, very odd that the hangman was here inverted. Like, it's very interesting. And right, it makes him stand upright, but the whole point of the hanged man is that he stands, well, he doesn't stand, he hangs upside down because he is trying to obtain a new perspective. He's not there by punishment, he is there by choice. Here, however, that is absolutely thwarted. He's having all the strain of hanging upside down, but he's upright. So it's all strain, no benefit. And, well, the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, that's huge change. That also represents the four seasons with the four animals and the wheel, which could be the wheel of like the year, all of the wheel of the seasons. So you might be going through some turmoil and you might be feeling like you need to be very wise about your money, which is always a good thing. But you are so in your stability, like your general overview is very, very stable. So I feel like even though this turmoil or change, or maybe you made a risky choice, like you will come through okay. You will not come off super, super, super rich, but you will be stable enough. You will pull through. You will not go homeless or whatever, but you should watch out because with so much change, it's very easy to make a false move. And maybe that is why you're choosing to stay still right now because of this. You don't want to gamble. You're a more reposed person, I suppose. I don't know if that word works in English the same way it does in Spanish. But let's say you're more like a calm pond rather than a raging sea. Or you're more like a calm sea because with all this kingly emperorish chariot energy, you're bigger than a pond. But yeah, so maybe that is why you're holding back because of all this turmoil and change that is coming on. But I can assure you, as far as a tarot reading on the internet can assure you, that you will be fine. That if you keep your position just as you are, you will end up just fine. You will not be a richer, but you will be just fine. There's no need to worry as long as you keep doing what you're doing. But do know that you have the potential to go ahead and make another decision. You have the potential to decide to take a chance or whatever. You can do that. But you might probably choose not to gamble, which is honestly never a bad choice. Okay, so now let's see. What is causing all of this Wheel of Fortuning, really, on this financial life of group number two? Why is there so much turmoil? What's changing so much? Hmm. Maybe there's a change in your family life or in your like close groups. Because once again, you get a card of celebration, a card just like this one. But this time you're being celebrated and rewarded by randoms, by people who don't really know you. But here, this is a celebration with people who know you, who've been waiting for you. This is like if you won a contest or a prize or something, and you're choosing to sit on it instead of going ahead with the impulse it might bring because you're afraid of something that may happen, something that may go wrong. This might even be like in a very extreme example, like you won the lottery, but you're sitting on it because you don't want to make any risky decisions because you came across this huge amount of money and you don't want to just go and, I don't know, buy a yacht or invest in the first investment that looks profitable to you. You want to sit on it, think on it, which would make sense with the because it would seem like it's something that you're not that experienced with, which might also be something that you're not used to feeling right out of your depth. You might not be used to feeling like you don't know what's going on. Oh, I've made a mess of all those cards. Like I don't even know which was which right now. All right, it was like that. So you might be feeling out of your depth, and even though you got all of this like party energy, celebratory energy, this abundance energy, you're choosing to remain still because you're out of your depth. You're out of your depth. But it's not like you can't do it. The pages are young men who will eventually become knights and can become kings, right? And you got the page of swords, which is about thinking, about rationality, about being cold, being calculating. So you have the potential to do the right thing with your money. I mean, I'm just assuming it's money at this point because people don't usually get this kind of energy over a baby or something like that. Because it's giving me the idea that you came across a large sum of money or maybe you inherited a business or a property of sorts and you're feeling like what do I do? What do? I don't know what to do. I got all of these assets, all all of these things, but I don't know how to proceed forward. I'm afraid this is too much change. I feel like I'm not prepared. Okay, if you keep sitting, I mean, sitting just sounds so derisive, but I mean, like, if you remain in this still energy, just letting things flow as they are, just letting things flow as they are. Oh, how will, how is it looking for you? A possible outcome. I, you just got projects. Like you're just gonna start planning something. I have made it. I am very sorry, my sister just came on in. No, but this is looking like if you remain in your king energy, observing, waiting, a plan will start to form in your mind. And it seems to be a solid one. There's three whole staffs there. So basically, you can just stay there. You're in no rush, no impending doom is setting upon you that you may need to act rashly. And you got two celebratory cards. You got the King of Pentacles. It's like you know how to enjoy life, but you're still strict about it. You're not out there committing debauchery or whatever it is, hedonism. This is really interesting. Really interesting. And it's kind of powerful energy. I wouldn't imagine a 22-year-old having this kind of energy. I might be wrong. You might just be extremely cool. But yeah. Where will I put the love now? Okay, so I'm gonna move this mess of cards aside a little. So we can do a little love. But honestly, I feel like you have so much going on. You might not. And this is also about stability, yeah? The four, the number four. That's the number of earth of stability. So you're super stable. And you can just see this time of turmoil and confusion pass while you ruminate your plans. There's no need to act right now. Not at all. Okay, so this card has fallen off the deck twice while I'm shuffling. And I don't usually do that thing in which people just like shuffle like crazy and they take cards. I usually pick them by intuition. Like I just do a spread and then I pick them. But this has come out twice while I'm shuffling. So if that's not a sign, then I don't know what could be a sign. And now this card looks really bad if you look at it because it looks like this guy was stealing. But at the same time, well, in medieval battles, people would go to war and they would set tents, right? And if you look at this card, you will see first thing, this man taking the swords. Second thing, the tents. But if you look here, these people are very far away. They're leaving the battle. The battle already occurred. So this man is an opportunist, but that doesn't mean he's a bad person. He saw all of these abandoned swords and he took them. So it's about seizing a chance. But it might also mean that you have to stay vigilant because somebody might seize it. But it's probably you, honestly. So you might need to stay vigilant, to be honest. But it's the same thing, the same energy as before. Like you just stay there and you hatch your plans and you keep your eyes open because there's an opportunity here and you might be able to exploit it. And that would make sense with this whole planning thing. But maybe you would need to seize it at the right time. And this kind of changes the whole message, if I'm honest. Because it's all right until that you're, well, planning and plotting and preparing. But there's a chance here, and it might be seized abruptly. And that won't ruin you or anything, but it could be you. It could be you. So keeping your eyes open would be the best idea. It's so crazy that it came out twice. It's like it was desperate to come out. Okay, now, Love Life Proper, finally. So, Love Life for pile number 2. This Emperor King energy we got here. So, Love Life 1. Hmm. Jesus, the Hierophant. That almost never comes off for me. I don't know why. So first, like just right off the bat, it would seem to me that you feel like you're tackling more than you can handle. Like if you're in a relationship, you might be with a person that you feel is too wise or too old or too knowledgeable or too mature. You might feel like you're at a disadvantage of sorts, but you can handle it. You can bridge this gap. You can dominate the situation. You definitely can. But it won't take raw effort like, oh, I'm just gonna try and try and try and try and try. You need to be wily. You need to be wily because if you go about it the I'm just gonna charge in way, you won't make it. You will break your literal back. Okay. And this person, the Hierophant, is so much about being learned, about thinking, about maturity, that um about secrets and whatnot. He is even doing the sign with his hands pointing upwards, right, with his two fingers, because it's like he's receiving from above. This is no ordinary individual. This is a very respectable person, very knowledgeable, very mature, very all those things. And you might feel like you need to do a lot of effort, but it's not about making raw effort, it's about doing the right thing. Be wily. Same with this. Pay attention and strike the weak point, right? Because once again, she has not defeated this lion by grappling on the floor and beating it while biting it and attacking it. She has managed to grab a hold of its snout and forced it close, and now the lion can't really harm her. He can't turn around, he can't do anything, and he submitted. He is afraid. He is under control. He has been dominated. He even got his tongue out like a dog. I apologize, I had a camera mishap. But yeah, coming back to the reading, I do feel like, I mean, I'm backtracking a little because I can't stop thinking about this little dude right here, the sword stealer. I feel like maybe somebody might try to take an opportunity that they see that might not be the most honest, or it might just be fair and square, but you please stay attentive. You got all of these things ready to go, so just make sure nobody can get on the way of that by just staying alert. And over here, yeah, just try not to overexert yourself when it's not necessary, just to get someone's attention, because there's a better way of doing it. You don't need to overwork yourself like that. And I think I'll leave it here for this one. And I'm sorry about the intermissions or whatever, the little breaks. But I do hope it was useful or at least fun. And I do hope to see you again soon. Bye bye. Hi, group number three. You chose the Oracle card. Trust your own understanding, which I hope you can somewhat see. Okay, so the card depicts a woman flying above a sea, islands, and even some clouds, right? She is holding a mask, an owl mask, and we all know owls are symbols of wisdom. She is, however, not looking through the mask or even looking around at all, because she already knows what she has to know, which is why it's trust your own understanding. She is composed, basically, her dress of flying creatures, planets. She also has wings and flowers. She is composed of the universe and thus she understands it. And there, I think that is a moon. And the moon also has to do with intuition and like it's usually associated with secret knowledge and stuff. So yeah, I think the card is very self-explanatory. We will, however, read the guidebook from the deck, which says, "Trust your own understanding. The information you are receiving is reliable and accurate. Look deeply into the situation before making any commitments. You have the foresight and ability to discern that there is more here than meets the eye. Everything will be revealed in the appropriate time. Don't feel the need to prove yourself. Be patient and allow things to unfold as they will. Trust in your own observations and knowledge. They hold your truth." Hmm. So it's a bit different than what I initially thought about the information that you're receiving is reliable and that you have to stay like alert. But it is a card about trusting yourself nonetheless. Like you're not confused, you're not wrong. What you understand to be right is indeed right. Oh, she also has moon earrings, or at least some form of half moon shaped thing. And once again, I think that's the crescent moon, so that might mean something to somebody. Okay, so first we'll start by drawing three cards for the overview of your month. Then we'll do three for finances and career, and then three for love and relationships. Okay, so first let's start with the general overview of the month. For group number three, I'm gonna get okay. Okay, this is okay. So we do have the Tower, but then we have the Queen of Swords, which is all about judgment and thinking critically and logically and making the right decisions with a mind as sharp as a sword. So I feel like through this crisis that the tower tends to represent, right? A crisis or a shaking of your beliefs or your foundations. If, hold on, sorry, camera problems. So sorry, I had some camera trouble and had to like get it off the setup and everything. So the overview of the month. Okay, so we have the tower, which usually signifies a crisis of some sort. Or maybe when a structure is shaken, let's say somebody leaves the family, or your friend group changes, your job changes, all of this could be a tower moment. It's not always like a horrible crisis because structures and like Images tend to represent, well, structures, like buildings represent structures of your life, of your mind, of your beliefs. Here you can see there was a crown, or maybe you can't. Maybe now you can. But there was a crown at the top of the tower. Like it's dethroning an idea or a belief that you had. And maybe that is why it's telling you that you have to trust your own understanding, because this might be a new belief that you are not so sure is right, even though you feel like it is. If you notice, the thunder comes from the sky, which is where all the ideas, as above, so below. It's like the plane of, well, not the plane, but it represents ideas, judgment, thoughts, which also ties in with the queen. You will be able to cut through the disaster and get what is worth. And this might be like a contrast to your slow and steady routine that you've had throughout your life, but you will be able to handle it, right? The Queen of Swords, there's no better card when it comes down to like judgment, to thoughts, to decisions, to, well, to judgment, really. She is as sharp as her sword. She's sitting above everything else in the clouds, but her feet are on the ground. She's not out there having illusions, being a crazy dreamer. Her feet are firmly set on the ground, but she is also with her head in the sky, not in the clouds. In the sky, she is above the clouds. And thus, she is of sound mind and judgment, and you can trust her decisions. She might be too cold, too calculating, but that's it. In terms of seeing through chaos, there could be no better card. So whatever decision you come to during this moment of shift or this violent change, or like it could be, for instance, that your boyfriend suddenly wants to break up out of nowhere, right? And you get this idea that there's a particular reason, right? But you have no solid proof. It's just like a bunch of things, like circumstantial. Then you're probably right, because the Queen of Swords is here, right? And this might be breaking your routine, which is basically this guy. If you see, he's not running like other knights. He's just sitting there, concentrated on his gold, on his material life, on his wealth. He is thinking. He's not moving. He, on a bad spread, he could mean that you're stagnant, that you're well, somehow trapped in a routine, which would be shaken by this tower moment. But the important thing here is that you will have the clarity to make the right call. You will be able to tell what the right thing is, and you have to have the confidence in yourself to trust this idea and to move forward with it, to stop this stagnation or whatever. Because if you don't, then you're just gonna keep repeating tower, 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 because you think things settled, but you just let it keep happening over and over again, like a toxic relationship. To keep using the relationship idea, like your boyfriend wants to break up, but then he does, and then you're like, okay, let's keep being together, and then it keeps happening, and then he's dodgy and he's ghosting, and it's all terrible because you should have said, hey, I don't know, maybe he's seeing somebody else, and I need to cut it right here, like the sword. So yeah, you will have the clarity and the capacity to cut through, either mentally or like literally ending something. All right. So now, in terms of finances and career, for group number 3, we need 3 cards because I love the 3 cards. Okay, so in terms of career and finances. Oh, okay. You're worrying a lot, I see. Mm. Okay, but it will end nicely. Okay, so once again, as I said before, the swords relate to the mind. So this person is not even getting attacked by swords. He's just having nightmares about them. So you're basically extremely worried. Like you might even be losing sleep over it. You are a complete ball of stress, and it might have to do with this wrecking your routine. Now, here we have the Eight of Cups, which is usually about walking away. You have this perfect structure here, which might have something to do with this routine, but you have decided to walk away from it, which might be why you're so stressed. Maybe you are the cause of this tower, in the sense that you leaving something behind might have caused this instability, this crisis of sorts. But you have to trust that you made the right decision. Because at the end of your path, and these are both wearing red, so you and they're both blonde, so you could think, oh, it's the same person. At the end, you have rejoice. You have once again cups, and there may be less cups, but they're being held cheerfully, lively, jovially, with friends, like a better place, a place where you belong, a place where you can feel safe and happy. Unlike these cups, which are just sitting there, you know, being used for nothing. They're just chilling. Once again, here we have the moon, and the moon is always a sign of inner guidance, of a bit of that mysterious intuition that comes out of some place and you just follow it. But in this case, I guess that intuition is accompanied by a more logical and rational side of you that allows you to see and tells you what to do. But you have to be wary that this logical, rational side that analyzes things doesn't become an obsession that keeps haunting you, and this analysis turn into nightmares or stress or constant doomsaying about your life or whatever. So yeah, you seem to be walking away from some sort of emotional stability, and as much as you're stressing, it will end up all right. Now, I don't really. How does this relate to finances though? Because it's all emotional and mental here. Okay. This will lead you to financial stability and calmness. This leaving something behind. So maybe you're leaving behind a job, for instance, that was in which you were stable and calm, but wasn't fulfilling you really with these tired cups for something more cups, I mean less cups with more joy, more energy. Cups that are actually moving, that are being enjoyed by people. And you will get to a place of stability, just the same, even more stability than you had before. This is a knight, but she's a queen. She's the Queen of Pentacles. So whatever move you're making, as stressful and worried as you are, is probably for the better. You will be abundant and you will be tranquil. And I do find it funny that they're both like staring at it, at their material life. He's just contemplating it, but she's embracing it a little. She's holding it, she's smiling. She looks to me like she's cradling it a little, like it's a good life, right? She has a bunny, she has a round, nice throne, which is like a bit more welcoming than some other thrones you will see in the stacks. And she's also wearing red. So it could be a whole journey from being lonely in this place that is stable but that you don't like a lot, to doing that leap, to having this stability as a settled, stable queen. So, whatever it is that you fear you will cause yourself by living a situation, it will not come to be. You're worrying, it's all in your head, basically, with the swords. It's all in your head. Which doesn't mean it's invalid, of course. I mean, there is cause to be stressed when one is changing one's life, right? One is shaking the very foundations of everything one is known. So of course you're going to be stressed, but you have to make sure it doesn't make you lose sleep. particularly here because well, as much reassurances as tarot reading can give you, one on the internet. On top of that, um, it will be fine. You will have more than enough. You will be super comfortable, super comfortable. And now in the love life, love life for number three. You have to trust you're making the right choice because you are making the right choice for yourself. And here, with the moon, it might be that it looks uncertain. This path you're taking, it feels lonely, it feels tiresome. You're just walking away. You're not in a horse or in a caravan or anything, but it will be for the better. It will be for the better. And if you see, this card also depicts a little bit of abundance, not only joy, but also physical abundance with the fruit everywhere. So yeah, whatever change you're making, it's looking super good. It's looking great. Like, there might be a period of oh my god, what have I done? But in the end, it will be worth it. And it's mostly not the bad things are not going to manifest. They will just haunt you, but they won't actually happen. Okay, and now for real to the love life. Okay, so what can group number three expect in love in the month of May 2024? Oh, oh, my card's a little broken there. I'm sorry. Okay, an empress. That's huge, and the empress and the queen, they're both very abundant in different ways. Of course, this is more material. This is more spiritual. With the empress is more like all around, like fertility, a bit more than abundance. Like things aplenty, but also things growing aplenty, not that just being aplenty. Okay, more swords and more decisions to make. Once again, this sword is about this sword. This card with the two swords and the moon. The moon is the unknown, but it also means the instincts. Her eyes are blinded and she has two choices that might feel the same, but they aren't. And you already know what to choose. You just have to have the bravery to choose it. Now, with the Five of Cups, this card has a very clear meaning if you look at it. Oh, bottom of the deck, the Ten of Cups. It really doesn't get much better. You are making the right choice. Whatever it is that you think is right, it is. Stop hesitating. Okay, so the Five of Cups is quite clear. Like, you have three spilled cups and you're very sad about it, but you're ignoring the two perfectly drinkable cups right there. So maybe it's all about a shift in perspective. Maybe that way you won't be so stressed with this everything, really. Because you do have the Empress, so your love life is fertile, if you may. I get the feeling that you may have two choices. Like, there might be two people, or you may have choices. Maybe you're talking to a bunch of people, but you're not sure which. And maybe you're like, oh my god, but actually my ex and the relationship I used to have that I left or whatever. But in reality, you have choices and they're good. They're good. You just need to make the decision. Like, stop hesitating. Trust that you know what you're doing. You gotta trust in yourself. Because if you do, you'll just reach. You went from the knight to the queen and then to the empress. It is abundance on abundance on abundance on fertility. Like, whatever it is that you choose will flourish. Will flourish. So if this were a relationship, it would be a relationship that is steady, that is abundant, that it might not be like, oh my god, we kissed for the first time in the rain and there was sparks and fireworks, but it will be a great, fulfilling, long lasting relationship. Well, it's fertile, so, the classic disclaimer, like, use protection, you never know. Be careful with your decisions, be careful with the way you do your decisions. But yeah, and this might also mean a little bit of your own self love. I always see the Empress as this woman who is really in her power and she really loves herself. Like when they talk about divine feminine or whatever, like the Empress is to me like the biggest like demonstrator of that kind of energy. And here she even has the heart with the little girly symbol. Like, you will be in your power, trusting yourself, loving yourself. But you need to get out of this energy. You keep stressing. And right, there was a situation, but it will be in the past. You can't keep carrying it forever. Although, to your credit, the Five of Cups is better than the Nine of Swords. I mean, at least there are spilled cups here. But you've already left that behind, okay? You've already walked away. What you need to do is look to what you have now. Make that choice to look to what you have to get here, to get to the Empress, to reach that abundance and happiness. So, overall, once you're past that crisis, it would be smooth sailing if it weren't because of your own mind, basically. Like, you need to rein it in a little more, if it's possible, of course. I'm not saying, oh, don't ever feel bad, just be happy and feel confident all the time. But there's a lot of mental strife. And here you're just plain old looking at the spilled milk. Instead of turning around and realizing it's not all spilled. You're just chilling there with your dark, black cloak of suffering, just looking at it. You made the right choice. Okay, now it's time to stick with it and move forward and try not to suffer as much. That's it. I think that's the message I have for you, pile number three. So thank you for being here, and I hope this helped, or at least it was fun. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye.